Hello, and welcome to Sitters Baked Goods. Today, we're going to be making a bunch of lemon squares and lemon circles. This will be the first part of my Thanksgiving series. So let's get started with the lemon squares. Let's cut up this butter to get nice chunks, because we're going to use rubbing in method. And then we're going to add in the flour and the sugar. So now I'll add the sugar. And then the flour. Now we're just going to rub it together to get nice medium chunks. You don't want to mix it too much or it won't be flaky. So just mix it up a little bit to make sure the sugar and the flour mix well together, and then start rubbing in. Try not to use your palms. You want to use just your fingertips, and you want it about this consistency. Now, so for the bottom, we're going to use more than we're going to use for the top, because we want to have a nice strong bottom, and then have just the top layer to make it be able to be shipped or travel any distance. I'm going to just spread them out, and we're doing two trays at once. Just pat it nicely down. Now, when you pat down, you're going to slowly push it up the walls. Make sure you go against all the walls so that on the outside wall it's not just dough and no lemon. Just going to do the same thing with the other one. And then we're going to go bake. When you put everything in at the same time, the bottom doesn't bake fully. So you need to bake the bottom first. So just like this, we're going to put in both pans, 350 for about 12 minutes, 10 minutes, till there's a little bit of brown on the outside, which you'll see once I pull up. See around the edges that they've just browned? So however strong your oven is, check within the 10 minutes and then decide what you need. I've practiced enough with mine to know that I need 12 minutes. Then we're just going to scoop the lemon curd in, spread it out, and then cover it with the top to be able to give it some strength. Now don't worry about it being hot. It makes it easier actually to spread out the lemon curd. Later on, I might change this recipe to be double the size. Just because I'm starting to feel that these are a little too thin. So I double basically the whole recipe and do the exact same thing, but double the bottom, double the lemon curd middle, and then double the top. But for this time, I'm just going to do what I regularly do. So we're just going to spread these out. Make sure you get it nice and even across the whole thing. There we are. All done. Perfect. Just make it perfectly level. And make sure to get the lemon curd off your spatula. You don't want to waste any of it. There we go. Now, for the top. You can weigh it if you need to, but you're just trying to cover with a thin layer across the whole top. Don't worry about feeling like you don't have enough or anything. It's really a small layer on top. Again, just for some strength. for shipping purposes. You can even do it without this and just bake the top with lemon, but it will be easily damaged. Oh, sorry guys. Just hit my camera. And then we're going to bake again for 25 minutes. So get those in. There we are. Then 25 minutes later, I'm going to pull these out. They're going to be very pale on top. Again, it's going to be the dark brown color on the edges is what's going to tell you that it's done. See, just a little bit of brown in the middle and mainly the outside. That's how you know it's done. Just like that. Now, because I put the parchment paper like I did, we're going to just use a little spatula to make sure there's no sticking to the sides. I'm going to easily be able to pull these out and put them into the takeout boxes. See? Pull outwards, don't lift up. Always pull outwards. That will keep it nice and flat and not crumble your thing. Now I'm going to cut the edges. Sorry that I'm blocking the camera. Here's a better cut. Oh, and I block it again. Sorry guys. But you're just shaving off the darker ends. And the outside's basically just cookie anyways. There's not a lot of lemon there. So don't feel bad that you can't use this. And it's a great opportunity to taste test. And you can even use this for crumble cake and other things that you can use the crumb for. Now I'm just going to cut it into 16. This square easily cuts into 4 by 4, which is 16. And the box that I'm using, it's very efficient to use 16. So when I sell these, I'm probably actually going to sell them by 16s instead of dozens. But we'll see. It all depends, I guess, on what kind of pans I have in the end. So this is how they turned out. Just gorgeous. Perfect squares. I stacked them on top of each other, so there's 32 there. Looking really good. Now, again, like I said, I'm probably going to double the recipe to make it double the size. Now onto the lemon circles. Just going to make the base first. So I got to melt the butter, mix the graham cracker with the sugar, and then add in the butter, and then we're going to put it into our pan. Just like so. Add in the sugar. You don't need too much sugar or salt or anything like that. Remember, the graham cracker crumb already has most of this stuff. So you don't even need to add this sugar if you really want. Just add a little bit more graham cracker crumb. So I don't remember how much butter. Last time I made this, there's a little too much butter, so I'm just going to put most of it in, mix it up, and then decide if I want more. Spoiler alert, I want all of it. So I am correct in my adjusted recipe. There we go. Then we're just going to scoop decent chunk in there. Make sure that when you scoop that they're even for all 24. And then after that, I'm going to press them down, bake the bottoms. While the bottoms bake, I'm going to get that cream cheese going. Then once the bottoms have cooled a little bit, I can then scoop the cream cheese into them and then bake for the final time. So we're just going to press them down nicely. There we go. And then off to the oven we go. So we're going to bake at 325 for this one. 10 minutes for my oven. Again, check with your oven. So start at 8 minutes. If you think it looks good, take it out. If you don't, leave it in for a few more minutes. So while that's baking for that 10 minutes, we're going to get cream cheese in. Again, the adjusted recipe is in the description below. And when you're doing the cream cheese, all you're doing is cream cheese with something, mix, with something, mix, with something, mix. It doesn't really matter the order, except for flour needs to go in last because you don't want to get too much gluten. After I start the sugar and the cream cheese, my oven timer went off. So just pull these out, let them cool for a bit. Finish your cream cheese, and then by then they'll cool enough to be perfect to scoop in. So add in that lemon juice and continue. Just like I said, you're adding one thing, stopping, putting something new in, going again, stopping, and always scrape down as you're going. If you want to make your life a little bit easier, you can mix the vanilla and the egg together, or the vanilla with the cream, either way, to just make it a little bit quicker. There we go. Make sure you use everything. Don't want to waste anything. Start back up. Now we're going to add in the vanilla. I'm just using a scrap piece of parchment paper as a clean area to put my spatula. So whenever you have extra pieces, don't just dump them, or garbage them. Make sure you keep a few of them, and you can use them for these little purposes, and then you can garbage them if you want. And there you go. Once everything's in, flour is the last thing. Mix it just a little bit, just like so, and done. That should be it. And then scoop. I have a perfect scoop that once it gets to that height, scrape off. Boom. Perfect. Just gonna do this for a few more. But I forgot one major thing. You gotta spray these. So for those 7, it's gonna be a little extra difficult to get them out, but that's okay. You don't ruin them, it just is a little bit harder and annoying. So make sure you spray them. Just like that. And then go back to scooping. Sorry guys. Once they're all scooped in, we're gonna bake for 20 minutes. We're gonna see as I go how long. Because they're in the circles and not the square pan, I've had to adjust this. But yeah, they're not fully done at 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna add 5 minutes, which turned out to be perfect. So in the recipe, I'll change it to 25 minutes. There's a little bit of browning happen here, so maybe a bit less, but overall, there's only browning on, like, say that one, and then the rest are pretty pale, which is exactly what I want. Now once I've got them out of the pans, I'm just going to pipe on the lemon curd. You see how they kind of have an indent? That's perfect for the lemon curd to get the perfect amount. If this was a flat lemon square or circle, you wouldn't get enough lemon in there. In my opinion, at least. So I'm just going to slowly do rosettes. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And there we go. 12 dozen, or sorry, 2 dozen, 2 dozen lemon circles are done. That's part 1 of Thanksgiving, when life gives you lemons. These are how the lemon circles turned out. I do have to figure out boxes for these because those will clearly move around while being shipped. So stay tuned for that. But the next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, there'll be part 2 and 3. I hope you enjoy. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I even have my own website. Thank you, and have a nice day.